spiritual awakening is rarely what movies make it out to be: a sudden flash of light, a dramatic moment of instant enlightenment where everything becomes clear in an instant. In reality, it is much quieter, much more subtle. It begins as a whisper, a gentle, almost unnoticeable stirring within you. It starts as a splinter in your mind, a subtle discomfort you can't quite explain. It is your soul's way of telling you that it no longer wishes to remain asleep, that it longs to live the life that truly belongs to you. This journey is not easy. It can be confusing, overwhelming, and at times deeply frightening, because it asks everything of you. It asks you to question what you thought was true, to challenge the values you've held onto for years, and even to reconsider who you believe yourself to be. As the renowned psychologist Carl Jung once said, enlightenment is not achieved by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. In this guide, we will unfold a map of this journey. We will explore the 7 fundamental stages of spiritual awakening and the signs that accompany each one. By doing so, you may begin to understand where you are, realize that you are not alone, and gain insight into what might lie ahead on your path. If you are ready, let us open this map together and begin at the very first stage, the whisper that starts it all. Stage 1. The uneasy sleep. This is where everything begins, even though you may not yet realize that anything has begun at all. Life moves on autopilot. You wake up, go to work, come home, distract yourself, sleep and repeat. It feels as though life is a script written by someone else, and you are merely reciting your lines. The most prominent feeling in this stage is a deep, persistent dissatisfaction. The things that are supposed to bring happiness, money, success, relationships no longer seem to fill the emptiness inside you. In fact, sometimes the more you achieve, the larger that emptiness grows. You may find yourself frequently asking, what is the meaning of life? Activities that once brought you joy now feel hollow. You begin to question society's definitions of success: a good job, a nice house, and realize they don't truly resonate with you. Even in crowded rooms, you may feel profoundly ill. What is happening here is simple yet powerful. Your soul is gently knocking on the door. It is asking, are you there? There is something you have forgotten yourself. Many people ignore this call. They try to drown it out with work, consumption, or endless distractions. But this only silences the voice temporarily. If you continue to ignore it, the whisper grows louder, and eventually it leads you into the second stage. Stage 2, the dark night and collapse. If the whisper is ignored, the soul has no choice but to break the door down. This is the stage often referred to as the dark night of the soul. Here, the foundations of your life begin to crumble. Like a collapsing tower, everything you once relied on may start to fall apart. This often comes through external events: losing a job, the end of a long-term relationship, health issues, or the loss of someone close to you. Though it may appear as misfortune, this collapse is, in truth, a form of deep transformation. It strips away what is false, what no longer serves you, and forces you out of the illusion of security. This stage can be intensely painful. You may feel lost, hopeless, and disconnected from everything. The question, who am I, becomes not philosophical, but urgent and deeply unsettling. The old version of you has dissolved, the new one has not yet emerged. It can feel like standing in a void. Your beliefs may shatter. Your trust in life, in others, even in yourself may weaken. You may withdraw socially, convinced that no one understands what you are going. Yet, this is not the end. It is a purification process. Just as a caterpillar dissolves inside the cocoon before becoming a butterfly, you are in a phase of transformation. The only way through this stage is not resistance, but surrender, to allow the pain to move through you. And when you reach the lowest point, when you feel there is nothing left to lose, a small light begins to appear. That light leads you into the third stage. Stage 3. Seeking and discovery. After the darkness, a new question arises: if everything I believed was false, then what is true? This is the beginning of this. You are no longer seeking to escape pain, but to understand reality. Suddenly, subjects that once seemed irrelevant become deeply fascinating. You may dive into spiritual, philosophical, or psychological teachings. You explore meditation, mindfulness, ancient wisdom traditions, or self-discovery practice. You start noticing patterns and coincidences. What once seemed random now feels meaningful. You meet new people who share similar questions and perspectives. At the same time, you may feel a growing distance from your old social circles. This stage is exciting. It feels like being handed a flashlight in a dark room. You cannot yet see everything, but you now have a tool to guide. However, eventually you realize that knowledge alone is not enough. Reading, listening, and learning can only take you so far. The next step requires something deeper. Stage 4. Inner confrontation. This is where the real work begins. You turn inward and face what you have long avoided: your shadow. This includes all the parts of yourself you have suppressed: your fears, anger, jealousy, shame, and insecurities. Life begins to mirror these hidden aspects back to you. The traits you strongly dislike in others often reflect parts of yourself you have not yet accepted. Old wounds and memories resurface. Patterns of self-sabotage become visible. This process can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is also transformative. As you begin to accept these parts, without judgment, something remarkable happens. You discover that within your anger lies strength, within your jealousy lies desire for growth, and within your fear lies awareness. By integrating these aspects, you become whole. Stage 5. Rebuilding the self. Having faced your inner world, you begin to rebuild your life, this time consciously. You let go of what no longer aligns with you. You may change careers, end unhealthy relationships, and release old habits. Your values shift. External validation becomes less important, while authenticity, meaning take priority. You begin to trust your inner voice. You define your life on your own terms. There is a growing sense of empowerment here. You are no longer drifting, you are choosing. Stage 6. Unity consciousness. As you stabilize within yourself, your perception of the world transforms. You no longer see yourself as separate from others. A deep sense of connection emerges with people, nature, and existence itself. Compassion naturally arises, even for those who once hurt you. Competition fades. You recognize that another's success does not diminish your own. Fear of death may lessen, replaced by a sense of continuity beyond the physical self. You begin to act not from ego, but from a genuine desire to contribute. Stage 7. Living enlightenment. This is not an escape from life, a return to it fully. You no longer seek something outside yourself. You simply exist, aware and at peace. Life is accepted as it is, without resistance. Joy is found in simple moments: a cup of tea, a laugh, the sound of. Spiritual practice is no longer something you do, it becomes how you live. You move through life with a quiet clarity. Your presence itself becomes meaningful. And you realize something profound: this is not the end of the journey, the true beginning. So where are you on this map? Perhaps you clearly recognize yourself in one stage, or perhaps you feel like you are moving between several at once. That is completely natural. This path is not linear, it is cyclical, like a spiral. Sometimes you move forward, sometimes back, always deeper. What matters most is that you are on the path, that you heard the whisper, that what you began. And remember, no matter where you go, what you are truly seeking is already within you.